Ginia's consciousness returned amidst a whirlwind of unfamiliar sensations. The last thing she remembered was defending her thesis, the air thick with anticipation, and the low hum of the projectors. Now a shrill, cruel voice was assaulting her ears, and a small, fragile body, one that wasn't hers, trembled under the impact of the words. "You little brat, do you really think you're a lady?" The voice, heavy with contempt, belonged to a corpulent woman whose face was contorted into a mask of rage. When the head of the family brought that Ttta, the adopted daughter, home, "I'll give you a beating you won't forget." Ginia, or rather, the girl whose body she now inhabited, felt panic bubble up in her chest. "My God, what is happening?" she thought, her mind spinning in confusion. "I was just at a defense. Why am I a little girl now?" "You're a pest born to be strangled," the woman continued, her hand rising in a threatening gesture. "Unlike Tan, whom the boss adores as if she were his own daughter." Suddenly, a calm metallic voice sounded in her mind, an invisible, unexpected presence. "Quickly, there's a hole in the wall to your right. Escape through there." "Who are you?" Ginia thought, her heart pounding uncontrollably. "I am your auxiliary system for traveling through books. Only you can hear my voice. Calm down, I won't harm you." With no time to process the absurd revelation, Ginia acted on instinct and ran, her small, clumsy body squeezing through the hole in the wall. The woman's voice echoed behind her like distant thunder. "Get back here right now. Let's see where you'll run now." She found herself in a neglected garden, her momentary freedom quickly interrupted by the reality of her situation. "Dear host, you have successfully entered a book called The Boss's Darling Daughter," the system informed her. "I'm the protagonist, the one the father cherishes, right?" Ginia clung to a thread of hope. "Wrong. You are the character whom your biological father, Jitingzu, deeply hates, and who ends up challenging the protagonist, Tang Tang, and dying tragically." The name Tang Tang, the adopted daughter, again. The reality of this bizarre world began to settle over her like a shroud. How could a father hate his own daughter and love a stranger? The system explained the distorted logic of that universe. Jitingzu, mistreated by his own family, despised his lineage. Ginia, the result of a plot, was a constant reminder of everything he hated. Hunger gnawed at her stomach, a brutal reminder that this body hadn't eaten in days. Ginia spotted a tall, imposing figure silhouetted against the twilight. A man of cold, austere beauty, whose green eyes, the same color as hers, stared with an intensity that made her tremble. "Jitingzu, how are you not dead yet after all this time here?" His voice was a low, dangerous murmur, devoid of any warmth. "You really are resilient, Ginia." Acting on instinct, she reached out her hand. "Save me, brother." A cruel smile curved his lips. "Too bad. I also wish you would die." He grabbed her arm, the strength in his fingers disproportionate to his elegant appearance. "Let go of me," she screamed, fear transforming into defiance. "Truly cursed. This disgusting J family lineage should end with my generation." He muttered more to himself than to her before shoving her away. Ginia fell to the ground. Her body ached, but her mind was sharp. This man was her father, and according to the system, her only chance of survival was to cling to him. "It doesn't matter if he's such a bastard father," she decided, a cold determination taking hold of her. "I have to please him." The nanny, Zon Yulon, found her shortly after, her face red with fury. "You naughty girl, there you are. You made us search everywhere." Ginia allowed herself to be dragged, her mind working feverishly. She wasn't the original character. She wouldn't accept a tragic fate without a fight. The opportunity to change her luck came in the form of Wei Yong, Jitingzu's assistant, who appeared like a silent shadow, interrupting the nanny's aggression. "Master of the house." Wei bowed, his voice neutral, but his eyes fixed on Yulon. "For 5 years, the allowance you sent for your daughter was embezzled by the nanny. She not only mistreated the girl but also let her starve." Jitingzu, who had been watching from a distance, raised an eyebrow. "Interesting," he thought. "She has the J family blood. She grew up mistreated, Yet she understands what education and compassion are? He watched the girl thank Wei Yong with a bow, a small figure of dignity amidst the chaos. Can the J family blood really produce such a pure personality? He approached, his imposing presence silencing the garden. Take this blind old woman away, he ordered, his voice sharp as broken glass. Embezzling company assets is enough to keep you locked up forever. Zon Yulon was dragged away, her cries of plea fading into the distance. Ginia, now free from her tormentor, looked up at the man who was her father. Brother, where did they take mommy? She asked, her voice deliberately childish. To play a game where you'll never see her again, he replied, his eyes cold as ice. And if you dare call her mommy again, I'll throw you in the lake for the fish. But then Nyen Nyen will be motherless, she retorted, testing his limits. Brother, can you be my mommy? His expression grew even darker. I can't. I don't need idiots around. Later, hungry, Ginia followed the aroma of food to the main building of the mansion. There she found Jitingzu in his office, the desk lamp casting long shadows over his sculpted face. She approached in silence, her eyes fixed on a plate of sweets on the table. What are you doing here? He asked without looking up from his papers. I'm hungry, she replied, her voice small. He watched her for a long moment, a silent battle waged in his eyes. The eldest daughter of the Ji family scratched a servant's face at age 5. The second son, at her age, used people as targets. And here she was, small and fragile, asking for food. Come here, he said, his voice a little less harsh. Give her something to eat. A maid brought a glass of milk and a sweet bun. Ginia ate with a voracity that belied her size under Jitingzu's watchful eye. When she finished, sleep overcame her, and she fell asleep right there on the plush office rug. Master of the house, aren't you the person who hates being touched the most? The maid whispered. Seeing Jitingzu cover the girl with his own coat, he didn't answer, his eyes fixed on the small, sleeping figure, a girl who, despite everything, seemed to have found a way to bypass his defenses. The days that followed, leading up to Tang Tang's arrival, were a delicate game of chess. Ginia learned to navigate her father's complex personality, alternating between childish innocence and surprising cunning. She discovered that although he kept his distance, a part of him seemed intrigued, perhaps even protective. The news of Tang Tang's arrival, however, hung in the air like an impending storm. Are you going to pick up Tang Tang personally, sir? Wei Yong asked one day. Yes, Jitingzu replied, his expression unreadable. Tomorrow, we will bring Tang Tang to the J family. Ginia felt a chill. Something went wrong, the system warned. Host, your big boss wants to bring the protagonist back. Your difficult days are coming. Head of the family, I want to go with you to pick up the young lady, she said, her voice firm. He looked at her, surprised. She is the young lady. And you? What are you? I don't know. Should I go back to the small cottage? She threw out the bait. The vulnerability in her voice perfectly calculated, his jaw clenched. No need. Since you want to go, we'll go together. So, the next day, they went to the orphanage. Tang Tang was exactly as Ginia had imagined, a beautiful, radiant girl, the personification of a book's protagonist. She ran into Jitingzu's arms with a familiarity Ginia would never dare show. Uncle Ji is finally here. Her voice was sweet as honey. Tang Tang, he said. And for the first time, Ginia saw a glimpse of warmth in his eyes. This is Ginia. You will live together from now on. Fate, however, had other plans. On the way back, the car was intercepted. Masked men dragged them to an abandoned warehouse, the smell of dust and decay filling the air. General J, the leader said, his voice distorted by a modulator. If you want to blame anyone, blame yourself for offending too many people. You can only choose one of these two girls to save. If you choose one, the other stays with us. Ginia's world seemed to stop. She looked at Jitingzu, her heart pounding against her ribs. Who do you think he'll choose? She thought, a bitter taste in her mouth. I better not humiliate myself. "Boss, choose Tang Tang," she said, her voice surprisingly calm. "I don't want them to say you're ungrateful." His gaze met hers, a storm of indecipherable emotions. Time seemed to stretch, every second an agony. Finally he spoke, his voice hoarse. "Release Tang Tang." The kidnappers' laughter echoed through the warehouse. "Go on. Mr. G really is a J family member. You can even abandon your own daughter." One of the men grabbed Ginia and dragged her to the edge of a raised platform. "If you take one more step, I'll push her," he yelled at Jitingzu. "No." Jitingzu's cry was a roar of pure anguish. "Let her go, do whatever you want." But it was too late. The man pushed her. Ginia felt the air rush past her, the ground approaching at a dizzying speed. The last thing she saw was her father's face, contorted in a mask of horror, before darkness swallowed her. Ginia woke up in a soft bed, the smell of antiseptic in the air. "Don't worry, host," the system said. There was a pile of hay underneath. "You won't die, but you might break a few bones." She was sore, but alive. And more importantly, she had heard her father's cry, a cry that contained more than just a guardian's duty. It contained fear. It contained despair. "Daddy," she whispered, testing the word on her tongue. Wei Yong, who was by the bedside, was startled. "Nyen Nyen, you're awake. The master of the house. He jumped after you. He's in serious condition." Ginia's heart leaped. He jumped. He jumped for her, even after choosing Tang Tang. The complexity of this man was an endless maze. "Maybe he thinks he doesn't deserve to be a father," the system suggested. "If you were seriously hurt, he felt he should go with you." When Jitingzu finally woke up, Ginia was by his side. "What did you call me?" he asked, his voice weak, when she called him master of the house. She hesitated. This was dangerous territory. "Master of the house," she repeated, retreating to the safety of formality. But something had changed. The dynamic between them, once a battlefield, now held a fragility, a connection forged in trauma. He watched her with a new intensity, a mixture of guilt, curiosity, and something more, something she didn't dare name. The recognition party, organized to introduce the two girls to society, was the stage for the next revelation. In front of the entire elite of Jianshin, Jitingzu made his announcement. "This is Shen Ruzhen's daughter, Shen Qinta. From today on, she will be raised under my name. And this." He paused, his hand resting gently on Ginia's shoulder. "Is my daughter, Ginia." The words echoed through the hall, a decree that changed everything. She was no longer the hidden bastard, the unwanted daughter. She was Ginia, Jitingzu's daughter. And for the first time, she saw a genuine smile on her father's face. That night, she approached him, her newfound courage driving her. "Daddy, I want to hear a story before bed." He looked at her, his eyes widening in surprise. "What did you call me?" "Daddy." She repeated it, her voice firm. "Shouldn't I call you that?" A long silence followed. Then he nodded, an almost imperceptible movement. Yes, you should," he said, his voice choked with an emotion he struggled to hide. "What bedtime story do you want to hear?" "Daddy, I want to hear the story of you and Mommy." The question hung in the air, weighted with a significance Ginia could barely comprehend. The mention of her mother brought a shadow to her father's eyes, a glimpse of an old, deep pain. Their journey was far from over. It was just the beginning. And Ginia, the book traveler, was determined to rewrite not only her own destiny but also that of the broken man she now called Daddy.